As the world mourns Pope Francis, history's most secretive transfer of power begins. White smoke, the path to a new pope, guides you through this momentous transition. We explain exactly what happens next, leading to the dramatic conclave vote. Learn how each ritual unfolds, what each tradition means, and why these ancient ceremonies still matter today. Follow along as the throne of St. Peter stands empty and a new chapter in church history begins. White Smoke, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you know what a group of flamingos is called? That's just one of thousands of facts you'll discover on 5 daily trivia questions. Hi, I'm Mark Ellison. Join me every weekday for 5 mind-expanding questions about everything from ancient history to modern technology. Perfect for impressing friends or dominating your next pub quiz. 5 daily trivia questions. And the answer, a group of flamingos, is called a flamboyance. 5 daily trivia questions.
Caloroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. What do you do when a miniature boat washes up on the beach? You put it back in the water. A miniature boat from the United States washed up on the shores of England. The boat is called Inspiration. It traveled around 9,000 miles. It was sent from children in Rhode Island as part of a science experiment back in 2022. Well, the boat has been renovated by local Sea Scouts and will be put back in the Atlantic to see what happens next. Inspiration is part of a project called Educational Passages, which gives students across the U.S. the opportunity to prepare and track their own mini boat while learning about ocean currents, weather, and technology. Inspiration is 3 feet 3 inches in length. The boat has GPS and was filled with photographs and notes from students, and now the scouts that carried out the repairs. William Lack is part of the restoration team. He said the boat had some holes in it and lots of scratches, and it's ready to go and shipshape. The boat will be relaunched in December. Australia has announced that it will protect 52% of its ocean territory. That's more than any other country in the world. They are expanding their sub-Antarctic marine park, quadrupling the size of the existing marine reserve. As good as that news is, scientists are still concerned about critical marine ecosystems not having enough sanctuary-level protection. This next one sounds like the opening to a joke. 3 goats and a dog wander into a fire station. Now, I did ask the AI to see if they could make a joke of it, and the AI could not make a joke of it. If you've got one, let me know. But 3 goats and a dog wander into the fire station. The crew of Engine 5 spotted a mother goat, 2 baby goats, and a dog walking past. No humans. On Facebook, the fire department said the firefighters were concerned for their safety, and with assistance from a neighbor walking his own dog, he placed a leash on the mother and walked the goat inside Station 5. The 2 baby goats followed their mother to safety. The dog, not so much. The neighbor secured the dog. We are told the goats were placed in a fenced-in area behind the fire station until they were returned to their home, which is down the block. Chris and Marianne had quit their jobs, sold their belongings, and decided to travel in a camper van for a 4-year adventure around the world. They have concluded their adventure. They started in January of 2020, which, if you're trying to do a world tour, not a good time. There was this pandemic. Google it. It was a big deal. Not good for travel. They had bought a camper van they called Trudy. It had 40,000 miles on it. They bought it for about 21 grand. They sold everything. They wound up traveling 67,000 miles and visited 29 countries, logging 28 million YouTube views. Marianne said, I think when you're sitting at a desk looking out the window and there's a brick wall, whether it's a weekend away or a whole craziness like we've done, I would encourage anyone to just get out. If you got something that's stopping you, a fear, message me and I'll put you straight. It's been phenomenal. Different places, different cultures. Everybody's given us a warm welcome around the world. They had traveled through Europe and arrived in Turkey just before the lockdowns. They wound up being Turkish residents for 18 months before making the decision to ship the van to South Carolina and then drive across the U.S. They made their way to San Francisco, up to Vancouver, did some Alaska time. They swam in the Arctic Ocean after driving 1,000 miles along a dirt road. They crossed back into the U.S., drove part of Route 66 into California, down into Mexico. They shipped the van from L.A. to Japan, drove around Japan for 3 months, then jumped on a car ferry to South Korea. Then they didn't know what to do. China said no. They toured Malaysia and Thailand, India, Pakistan. They considered Saudi Arabia, but were told the country doesn't allow right-hand drive vehicles. So they went to South Africa, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and then one last ferry home. Marianne said, I really feel if we do nothing else in our life, we've done something fantastic. Hey, good news for David. He's 82. He had lost his class of 1964 Naval Academy ring 54 years ago when golfing with his father at the Uniontown Country Club near Pittsburgh. Lorenzo told the local news, it survived combat, but it couldn't survive my golf game. Well, luckily, Michael was golfing at the same club recently, and he spotted a shiny object in the clay that had been exposed by recent rains. Can you guess what the object's going to wind up being? Are you familiar with how this podcast works? Do you think there's a surprise twist here? There's not. Michael said, I saw this shiny thing, and I thought it was a beer can tab. I dug it out so nobody would step on it, and I saw it was a ring. He searched for the ring's owner online and found a podcast episode in which Lorenzo had talked about his experiences in the military. Michael traveled to Florida to present Lorenzo with the ring. He said, I knew I couldn't send this in the mail. I knew it had to be personally delivered. John, no world record today? No world record today. I know, right? You have a great day.